Great, so my name is Hunter Scarborough. I'm the CEO and founder of Voter, AKA Tinder for Politics. Sometimes we say matchmaking for politics. But basically, I was really frustrated by how difficult it was to become informed in an election. You have so many conflicting sources, so much information going every which way. I didn't want to vote on a soundbite from my uncle. I didn't want to vote on a soundbite from a news anchor. I wanted to really know who these candidates were and what their track record stood for. And I figured in the 21st century, there had to be a way to leverage technology to accomplish that. So I started building Voter. So, whoops, there we go. So when we say Tinder for politics, you're basically swiping left and right, if you're familiar with Tinder, on major political issues. So what problems are we solving? Number one, uninformed voters don't vote, right? Or worse, they do. So we're trying to avoid that scenario. When people have a horse in the race, when they're passionate about a candidate, they're much more likely to actually participate. And you see a lot of campaigns out there. I very much respect Rock the Vote. I think they've done some awesome stuff. But I do think it's somewhat dangerous to always push the idea of voting without first informing yourself on what you're voting on, right? Those two need to hold hands, they need to go together. So the other problem we're solving, bias is present in the news and other media. About 80% of the American electorate does not trust the news media. That was a recent statistic from Gallup. So 80% don't trust the news media. So where are they going to go for their information? It's a real problem that needs solving. Time-consuming research is really the only alternative, and so there's really no easy way to quickly vote with confidence come election day. So how are we solving that? Again, Tinder for politics, you swipe on major political issues, match with candidates who have a track record of supporting the things that you believe in. It's fun, it's fast, it's easy, it's somewhat gamified, but our target is really that younger voter that needs information quickly. That's not to say it's something that any voter couldn't find useful. So fast, fun, accurate, swipe to answer questions. We use all the public sort of, you hear big data thrown around a lot, in fact in the last two presentations, right? So we're talking about big political data. We look at voting records, we look at campaign finance, we look at speech analytics. Real quick, so if a candidate says the word immigration 3 times in a speech and they say the word economy 50 times in that same speech, we can infer from that that they care more about the economy than immigration. We try to keep everything very numbers-based, very fact-based, and we algorithmically sort all of that. So a quick look at what the app looks like. Ironically, this is a little bit outdated, this slide. So if you download the app right now, you'll see it's a little prettier. So answering questions, matching with candidates, digging deeper, who funds their campaigns, et cetera, it's all there, sort of a one-stop shop. How do we make money? Impact advertising. So we have a form of advertising in the app that doesn't compromise the integrity of what the app does. You'll see if you go through it, there are a couple organizations you might recognize that have sponsored some content in the app, but it's very transparent as to how we do that. Real-time polling. Obviously, we get a lot of interesting data on a demographic that's historically very difficult to reach. We have Gallup and Pew having a difficult time getting millennial viewpoints, and that's about 65 to 70% of our audience. So we have a unique insight there. And then one-touch political donations, we're excited to basically streamline the donation process, but that is in development. PowerPoint seems to have done a little bit with my slide here, but millennials about 84 million, that's our target demographic. Serviceable is 235 eligible voters. And we hope to go international once past November 8th. So we're very excited to kind of expand into Canada and the UK. We've got a lot of requests for different countries in Europe. So we actually launched about a year ago exactly. We were named the #1 up-and-coming app in Newsweek. It's been a very exciting election year to be doing something like this, as you could probably imagine. We just recently hit 200,000 users. Earlier this week, we partnered with Tinder and Rock the Vote in a little thing called Swipe the Vote, which some of you might have seen. We provided all the data that powered that app inside of Tinder. Quick example of kind of what we do differently. We really focus on engaging people, but keeping information, sort of math-based, objective. We like to automate as much as possible, A, because it's easier for us, and B, because it removes the human bias component, right? If the least that a human can touch the information, or the less the human touches the information, the less opportunity there is for bias to influence it. So we're very cognizant of that. The team behind it, I'm the CEO and founder. My co-founder is our CTO. We have our, somewhat recently, Sean Rad joined our advisory board, and he's been a big asset for us. I know that we have a little bit of time here, so I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. So we launched on Android about 2 months ago. Like I said, if you have an Android or an iPhone, I encourage you to check it out. It's VOTER. It'll be the first thing to pop up. And we welcome feedback and criticism. We always try to make it as bulletproof as possible. This is quick revenue stuff. And so I'm just going to finish out with, yeah, we're also looking for, at the moment, we're doing some media partnerships to really maximize our impact before Election Day. Some of you might be familiar with Vote Please, Sam Altman's new sort of voter registration focused movement, and we just recently partnered with them. So if you go on their website, you'll see a few items pushing voters to engage themselves, with information that we provide. So yeah, again, if you have an iPhone or Android, VOTER, please check it out. Let us know what you think. Thank you.